if you are bound and determined you're going to have LASIK eye surgery, you're going to let them cut on your eyes, you hope that you're never going to have to wear glasses again, except when you're reading or outside and have to wear sunglasses, at least do yourself this favor. Here are 10 things. I'm going to share with you 10 things you really should do before you let them cut on your eyes. Number one, watch all of the videos on this website. Read all of the documents, the special report, everything else on this website. Click on all the links. Make sure, you're talking about your precious eyesight. You're talking about the rest of your life. This could be the most important decision you ever make. Make sure that it's a fully informed decision, that you have done your homework, that you have asked all the right questions, and that you're not relying on a complete stranger who happens to wear a white lab coat to tell you what's in your best interest. If you're considering having the Wolf Eye Clinic in Iowa do that surgery, also read my entire correspondence with them. In fact, you ought to read it anyway, no matter where you're going. Read the lawsuit that was filed against them that's posted on my website, and ask yourself this: if I had the kind of truly unfortunate outcome that Joe Ty had, and I got treated the way he got treated, how would I feel? They completely ignored every single letter I sent them after that first formal form letter that I got back saying, oh yeah, we hear you. Number two, know what the risks are and make sure that you're willing to accept those risks. Know what the worst case is, even if it's minimally likely. For example, are you willing to accept LASIK dry eye disease as a lifelong companion? And let me tell you how my eyes feel on my worst days. Imagine that somebody has taped open your eyes and is holding a blow dryer against them, and every minute or so you can put in eye drops, but almost instantly it goes away and you're back to feeling like they're rubbing your eyeballs with sandpaper. On my worst days, that's how my eyes feel. I would give anything to go back and undo the surgery. I can't. All I can do is continue putting eye drops in several times an hour or more. Number three, think about where you are, what stage of life you're at. If you are young, that's when you're probably most tempted to do this. If you're young, you're about to start a career, you're about to start a family, you're about to enter life. Be very, very sure that it's that important to you to not have to wear glasses, because it could profoundly affect how you raise your family. It could profoundly affect the kind of work you do, or the kind of work you're not able to do if they mangle your eyes and screw it up. Number four, be clear about your definition of a successful outcome, because it will be very different than what your LASIK eye surgeon's definition likely will be. For example, according to my LASIK surgeon, I had a successful outcome because with each eye I could see, even though it was very fuzzy and I could barely make it out, I could make out the 20/20 line on the eye chart. He called that a success. Even though when I opened both eyes, it completely went out of focus because I had such bad double vision. Even though my eyes hurt all the time, even though I couldn't read a street sign, even though I was a dangerous driver driving down the road and I'd see two cars coming at me when it was really just one. Be very careful, be very clear in your own mind about what you expect, and be very certain that you and the surgeon are on the same page in how you define whether you've had a successful outcome. Number five, get multiple opinions. And not just from people who have a financial interest in seeing that you have the surgery done. Go to an optometrist office and ask them for an opinion. Am I a candidate for this? By the way, there's a sort of a perception that the optometrist will tell you, oh no, don't do it because they want to sell you more glasses. Every optometrist I've talked to says it's been great for their business. They sell more glasses. People need reading glasses. They need sunglasses. They need scleral contact lenses. It's been a gold mine. Many of us, I know I have. I've spent far more money on optometrists since the LASIK than before. Get lots of opinions, and go to a university where presumably they're on salary and they don't have that financial interest to cut on your eyes. Get lots of opinions. Number six, do your research, and that includes doing some Google and reading some medical journal articles. For example, had I done my research ahead of time, I would have found at least 2 optometry journals that said any doctor who's about to do LASIK needs to test for occult strabismus. When I went to the university eye clinic after my LASIK misfortune and was being treated for this horrible double vision, they told me you had a pre-existing condition that could and should have been tested for, and that's what these medical journal articles said. Likewise, if I had read some articles, if I had even done a simple Google search, blepharitis, LASIK, I would have said, oh, that doesn't sound good, and I would have said to the doctor, do I have blepharitis? Presumably, since he knew I did, he would have said yes. That would have been in a conversation. I'd have walked right out. Do your homework. And that gets me to the next. Don't settle for a generic warning. They'll give you this piece of paper, you'll watch a video, you'll sign something. All of that's a generic warning. Make sure that they talk to you specifically about your condition, your job, your hobbies. Do you have hay fever? Make sure you've talked about that, because if you have hay fever, LASIK can make your autumn or whenever your hay fever acts up experience far more miserable. Get a warning that is specific to you. Have a fully informed conversation that is specific to you. Don't settle for the generic warning. Number 8, take a little handheld tape recorder into every session and record it. If your doctor is honest, if your doctor is ethical, he or she won't care. They're not going to say anything to you that they would be embarrassed to see in a newspaper or in a courtroom down the road. But for you, it will mean you have something you can go back and listen to. Now, I didn't really understand what he said about this. You'll be able to ask more intelligent questions. If you're like me, you're sort of the way I was. I wanted to have this done. I was hearing what I wanted to hear. I wish I would have recorded it. And if it doesn't go well, you will be glad that you did have your side of the story recorded and not just have to rely on what they said they told you. Number 9, before you go in for the surgery, tell them, I want to read my medical record. They'll let you do it. And if they don't, walk out. And if there's anything in that medical record you don't understand or don't agree with, stop and say, whoa, wait a minute, what is this? For example, if I had gotten my medical record and seen the sentence that said, patient has blepharitis, I have discussed it with him, I would have said, whoa, wait a minute. I don't recall that discussion. Fill me in on it. And I would have gone right home. I would have gone Google, LASIK, blepharitis, and on the very first page, I would have seen multiple entries saying, if you have blepharitis, you're not a candidate for LASIK. End of story. I never would have had LASIK. I never would have made the worst decision I've ever made in my life. And that gets me to number 10. You have the right to turn it off, to walk out, to stop, pull the plug at any point along the process until they have flipped the switch on the laser. Once they have flipped that switch, once they have started cutting into your eyeball, it's all over. Whatever the outcome is, good or bad, you're stuck with it forever. It cannot be undone, and many of the complications cannot be treated, or if they can be treated, the way my double vision was treated, it's very expensive, it takes a very long time, it's a miserable experience in between. LASIK dry eye disease for many people is a lifelong untreatable condition. All you can do is ameliorate it with eye drops, but it cannot be treated, it cannot be cured. Those are my 10 things. If you do decide it, I wish you all the best. Good luck.